Every year, thousands of British people travel over to the Mediterranean island of Ibiza to let their hair down. With the lure of sun, sea, sand and parties that the island has to offer, who can blame them? In early September, Melissa Sanders, 18 from Whitburn Village, was holidaying with friends at the popular resort San Antonio and was hit by a taxi in the early hours of September the 7th, leaving her in a coma, just 2 days before she was due to return home. Upon hearing the news, family and friends of Melissa worked in unison to both raise awareness and funds to help Melissa's family during the recovery process. Local musician and friend of Melissa's, Jamie Carmichael, set about helping her family in the best way he knew how, through the power of music. Taking inspiration from projects such as Band-Aid and To Write Love on Her Arms, Jamie manufactured the idea of producing a low-budget DIY mixtape to help offer support for Melissa's family during this hard time.
I found out just a couple of days after it happened. I couldn't believe it. It's not the kind of thing that you think is going to happen to anyone you know. Like, actually knowing Melissa, it was hard to think that this could actually happen. I'd heard that people were trying to raise money in order to help with the recovery process. I just straight away thought that music was the way to go. That was, that's my forte. At first it was just kind of like a sort of a little DIY project. Basically, this has become bigger than I could ever have imagined.
As a result to overwhelming response, Mixtape for Mellisa was born, a compilation CD boasting of signed and unsigned talents from across the UK.
It was just on the internet. I typed in Melissa's name and Mixtape for Mellisa came up and I thought, oh, what's this? Clicked on it and then found out what had been going on and I was just amazed. I told, my boss and just said, do you want to do something on it? And I said, yeah, great. The response to that project alone is just unbelievable. I mean, I think it's a great thing that what Jamie's doing.
I set up the MySpace in the same light of alternative charities such as To Write Love on Her Arms and Skate for Cancer, knowing that MySpace was like a positive tool to generate interest and awareness of the charity because I've seen it before in charities like this.
We feel that by putting our song on this CD, we're definitely doing something to help. So I mean, there's no flaw to this cause. It's definitely something that's worth doing.
It was through MySpace that we were actually able to get signed bands such as Tonight Is Goodbye, Kill the Arcade and Jameson onto the Mixtape for Mellisa roster. After explaining to the bands from across the UK my aims and the story behind the CD, they were more than happy to help and jumped at the chance to actually be on the CD. It just really goes to show how there's no snobbery or elitism within the alternative music scene where you may find it in others.
We initially got involved with the project when Jamie approached us and told us the story about what had happened to Melissa when she was away on holiday, and we just wanted to help immediately when we heard what had happened. We knew that Jamie was going to be doing it all by himself, so we just wanted to lend him a hand and see what we could do. I think it's a really, really good idea. The power of music's just undeniable, I guess, so it's bringing a lot of good bands together for a really good cause.
And we thought it was a great project to get involved with. Then we heard about the project through the media and we realised this was becoming more widespread, and we thought, well, we can try and get the message across to as many people as we can, not through only the media but through our websites, our MySpaces. And we felt it was a worthy cause to get involved with.
The fact that we can, with our music, which we're doing already, we can promote a good cause and get money in for a good charity, then I think that's brilliant. It's the best way we can possibly do it. With the good selections of bands on the CD, I think that people will be interested in the CD, and then through that will be interested in the cause and will be funding the cause.
When the realisation of the intensity of the project became clear, I knew that a total DIY ethic couldn't be taken, as I wanted to provide a product that both acknowledged the quality of the bands and gave the Mixtape for Mellisa campaign a more professional look. I got in contact with Sam Reynolds at Disc Manufacturing Services in order to have the CDs professionally replicated. The same process major recording studios use to actually manufacture their discs.
It's a brilliant idea to create a mixtape in aid of a charity, or put gigs on in aid of a charity. So doing stuff like this, the gigs, the CDs, and obviously there's a lot of word on the internet about it. It's a brilliant way to get attention to the cause.
The fact that it's so easy to make a CD now to a very high professional standard, relatively cheaply and relatively easily, it's a perfect opportunity in this time and age to do it.
We had a limited number of 500 CDs, and I hope that we can raise just over grand with the profits. The launch night, which we held at Pure in the Voodoo Rooms, was absolutely amazing. We really packed the place out. All the bands there were absolutely amazing. We had an upstairs and downstairs kind of vibe going on. We had Sunday School Adventure Club, Dot to Dots and the Wooden Spoons, who were our pop acts downstairs. And our alternative acts were Trip Dash, Castro and Kaikura.
So many days I'm wasting away, 'cause the best times are behind me, baby.
Well, I was actually very good friends with the girl who all this project's going towards, so I've known about it for a while, and I think it's great the fact that we're raising money for that.
To understand the distance between me and you, maybe it's not a cause for concern, but I'm compelled to want you, and for that I'll never. So I said I would pick up all the pieces of the thoughts again, all of the speeches that make me realize you were there. They're breaking us up from the front to the back. We're bearing them down with our minds. It's not to
We're friends with one of the bands that are playing tonight, Kaikura, and they know Jamie. And we've played a few gigs with some of Jamie's bands in the past. I mean, we showed interest in wanting to be on the Mixtape For Mellisa CD, but predominantly because it's such a good cause, you know. And then he ended up asking what to do tonight, Jamie himself. So we said yes straight away, you know. Like, you've only got to look at sort of other things like in the similar vein, like I suppose Live 8 or whatever. So I think this is a very good way of raising awareness anyway, definitely.
Music speaks volumes, and that's where people put the money. I think music is a great way of raising funds for anything. Good. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
The launch night was really something special, and I couldn't have done anything without the help of the bands, the sound guys, the photographers and the generosity of the owners of Pure. I'm going to be promoting the CD through more gigs like the one at Pure, and obviously the website. I've got some really great friends helping us out along the way as well, and a lot of the credit should go to those guys.
I feel it's the only way that we can all help the situation, and we're glad to. If this is all we can do to help, then this is what we want to do.
Like the music scene's more of like a community these days, with everyone like sort of helping out each other. I think like DIY isn't all about doing it yourself. You've got friends that'll help you out as well, and I think this cause has brought like other bands together, so everyone's just wanting to pitch in and do what they can for the cause.
The fact that bands from around the country come together to get involved, you know, for this one girl from Whitburn, it's just amazing.
I've had a lot of thanks off Melissa's family and friends, which is really nice. There's so much fundraising going on for Mellisa outside of this project at the moment, though. Everyone's doing their little bit to help out their friend. I think if I hadn't done something like this, someone else would have done it anyway. I think if anyone was faced with this situation, they'd try their best to help out in any way possible. I just think it's like a basic human instinct.
Start to take a walk away. You better come clean for your life's at stake. Where is your brother and is he safe? And don't mention problems, mean shit to me. I've lived through things I took his life and that's the truth. Okay, I spilled my guts to